Hello and welcome to Shoot the Shit with Squeegee. I'm your host, the Squeegee of Justice. You may know me as a partner and mod at Trial TV Live, but tonight I'm coming to you with a side broadcast, a place where you get to know me a bit better and I get to know you. So join me and let's go shoot some shit. Alrighty, I think I just did a whole intro there and didn't even know it. I wasn't live. So yeah, Squeegee is on his own tonight. Right on. So yeah, I just did a full intro saying we have a great show. Thank you for joining us, guys. Legal Minded Friends Karen Cole will be joining us. I'm so excited to have her with us. And she just did a premiere, and it was about Karen Reed. So we'll touch on that. And she redirected a lot of people over to us. So I appreciate that. So let us do a check-in. Just let me know if the audio is okay. And Lexi, you were first in the chat. So you said, hello, just subscribed. Karen Cole sent me. See you soon. Fantastic. I got my earbuds in. I usually do speakers, but I'm doing earbuds. I'm trying something new tonight. So Lexi, thank you for joining us. Brat and Julie, two of our great mods. Great to see you guys. Legal Minded Friends Karen Cole was in the chat and she did a premiere, so I want to talk to her about that. Lucy, snakes will hiss. Let me know how my audio is. Audio is good. Okay, cool. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy Swan, therapist, you know. Good to see you. You just graduated, got your master's. Congratulations to you. Julie, Hope, Case Unwinder, Sneaky Side, all fantastic to see you guys. Jules, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Florida PI Sam, thank you for joining. Unbalanced Equation, also in the UK. So I know it's getting late there, so I'm not going to ramble on too much. But let us bring Karen Cole up. Hello, hello. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi. Oh, and who do you have there with you?
I was trying to rearrange the camera so Ziggy would be in the picture.
Oh. Nice. I love Ziggy. That's awesome.
So I got to keep my grandpuppy for an extra week.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying some new stuff here. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, so bear with me.
Hi, Lexi.
All right.
Ziggy says, hi, Lexi.
Yes, Lexi. Ziggy is so cute. How old is Ziggy?
I think he's 7 in real years.
Okay.
I hope I've got that right.
Right.
Show everybody your lovely physique.
And you're just pet sitting him for a little bit, or
for my daughter, yeah.
Aw, that's sweet.
So okay.
You're a good mom. All right, so let's start the show.
He's smaller than a cat.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and educate us as to what you do and what your relationship is to YouTube and law and all of that good stuff.
Okay, so some of you may know my channel as Legal Minded Friends, and I started Legal Minded Friends during lockdown because I got a lot of calls from people that were about the same subjects. Mm-hmm. So I thought, oh, what if I kind of do YouTube as a answer questions within 1 minute? And then I found out you can't really do a legal answer in 1 minute. So,
yeah, very difficult.
Yeah, when I first started, I always tell the story that I put the camera up right to my face and just spoke into it. And I didn't know anything about streaming or anything like that. So yeah, it's been a learning journey. And yeah, so.
Well, fantastic. So that's like 4 years and counting now you've had a YouTube channel? Is that how I understand it?
Yeah. So it was lockdown. So yeah.
I know. Yeah. When did lockdown start for you guys? Because for us, it was like middle of March or so. When did it start for you guys of 2020?
Yeah, same. It was
same.
Yeah. Everybody was locked down. March, April. Nobody on the streets. It was really weird.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. All right. So as far as the law is concerned, are you currently practicing law in the UK?
Yeah. So I don't call it practicing.
Okay. Correct me, please. Yeah, I'm a neophyte. I'm ignorant. Please
I
educate.
call it, I call it, what did I want to call it something else because we're implicating the law, right? We're trying to, so basically I'm retired. So I used to work for the county solicitor, and then I've done other jobs where I was an appeals officer for local a local council. And so when I retired, I started Legal Minded Friends, but I got my retirement like I'm getting paid because I've reached the age. And it was funny because I was on another chat the other day and I said, like you get a paycheck every month. And it says, when it says occupation, it says pensioner.
Oh my, that's not very flattering.
Yeah. So I thought, oh yeah, I'm a pensioner.
I should start to use that. Yeah, pensioner.
Yeah. So what I did with Legal Minded Friends is I offer a service for people if they want to represent themselves in court, and you guys call it pro se. So in the UK, what happens is the courts allow you to bring in a lawyer if you want, or a Mackenzie friend, or anybody that you want to help you. So I help them with the process, all the forms, make the arguments, help them with everything that needs to be done, and in every type of law. So employment law, criminal law, family law. I do a lot of family law. I don't really do a lot of real estate, but I have done them to help people. So yeah, so so I call it so. And the good thing is that I can do the if you're an applicant or if you're a defendant, right? So, and because when I was working for the government, I wouldn't call myself a prosecutor because that's in criminal, right? That would be criminal law. So I would be representing the council, right? The county solicitor for cases.
Okay.
And so, and I didn't take criminal procedures.
And how long were you implementing the law before you retired and became a pensioner?
Yeah. So I started, it's been about 40 years, and I think it's now going to be 50 years, if I'm honest.
Okay.
So I started.
It's okay. You're among friends.
So do I count it when I was working for the priest? I mean, that's really the big justice, isn't it? It's like,
now, when you say priest, you mean the church, or what do you mean by the priest?
Yeah, when I used to work with the church, and
Interesting.
so I used to help out with all the things that need to be done with the church, like do typing, and I couldn't type. I still can't type. If anybody watches my chat in the chats, I still find it hard to type. And so in the olden days, they had these. You had to put the paper through like this machine, and it would imprint, so it would make indents. What's that machine called? I can't remember what it's called now.
Machine that would make imprints. I'm not a typewriter.
So it's like when they make a newspaper, it's the same sort of thing. And then
okay, typesetting and okay.
Yeah. So because it makes an imprint, if you make a mistake, you have to literally fill it in with this kind of red stuff. So the priest used to laugh because all my work had red spots everywhere. That was kind of my first introduction to justice, you could say. And then because of that, because of working for the church, one of our parishioners was a solicitor, and his dad was a judge. And so he said, "Hey, do you want to work for me?" And he did a lot of civil law. So I worked for him for probably after school and, helping out and stuff like that. And then during the summer. And then I started working for other solicitors that were friends of the family, and then just continued. And then I thought, I moved to London because that wasn't where I was from originally in Canada. I lived in Ontario, Canada. So I moved to London and I went to university there, and I worked for London Correctional Services. So I used to do pre-sentencing and post-sentencing reports. And then I moved here right after my degree. So
Okay.
I got hired straight after. And it's interesting because when I was hired, you have to wait for all your checks to come through, like your police checks and everything. So I thought, well, I'll take a little job with the library. And I used to go around because our county is quite big, right? It's people might know the area, Gloucestershire. It's very like, the king has a house here, a summer home here, and so I would go around in the library van and read to children and stuff like that. So I thought it would be a good way to meet the community and to know, our community, because obviously I'd be representing the council, like the solicitor's office. So yeah, so that was it. And then here we are.
Nice. Well, a fellow UK-ite unbalanced equation is asking solicitor or barrister. So what is the difference between those two?
Yeah. So, for example, when you study law in Canada or America, you study after getting a degree, you go to law school. And in this country, you go to law school as soon as you get out of high school. So you pick at that point if you want to be a lawyer, a solicitor, and then you would go for another 4 years to become a barrister. So it's a different system here. And that's why I could use my degree here, because in the UK, as long as you have a degree, you can apply for these jobs, right? And obviously they train you. And I was trained by Lord Wolfe, who changed the whole civil procedures. So I came in 1997, which was when all the civil procedures changed. So I had the best training, which was amazing, really, that I came in at just that time. Yeah. So that's the difference. A barrister is an advocate. So they wear the wigs and they go before the courts. They have rights of audience. Some solicitors don't have rights. You always have to ask. So when I go into court, you have to say, permission to speak, and then the court gives you permission. But a barrister is automatic. They get automatic rights.
Interesting. Okay. I want to pull this one up from Florida PI Sam. Wow, at 17, I could not have gone to any form of law school. I was too busy committing crimes.
Oh, Florida PI. I'm surprised.
And now look where you are. So let's talk a little bit about your premiere. I did watch just a few minutes. I'll be on the replay crew because I was getting prepared for today, but I watched a little bit, and it's titled Why Was There No DNA Found on John O'Keefe in the Karen Reed Trial? And you had Dr. Marie Russell on. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about that, kind of preview the premiere so that afterwards we can have people go over and watch it and kind of tell us what we can expect to see in your premiere there?
Yeah, but before we do that, can
Sure.
we have I don't know if you've already done it, but I don't know if you've heard of Legal Vices. What happened?
I did, yes. Absolutely. Go ahead.
He passed away. And so that just a couple of days ago, and that even though I was just a chatter on him, but he was always very welcoming in his chat, and he'd always say, hey, subscribe to Karen Cole, Legal Minded Friends, and his subs, his mods would always put my link in. And so to find out he had passed away with a heart attack was really shocking. And so I just wanted to say his goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers. And I thought if anybody in our chat isn't already a subscriber of Legal Vices, maybe they can go over and subscribe to his channel, because it's very sad. I guess he's like really young, and it's just very shocking. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, that's really nice. And actually, I believe he did hit 1,000K. Jules,
100,000.
I'm sorry, 100,000. Yeah.
Did he hit it already?
I'm sorry?
Did he hit it already? Because Good Logic had him on, or was, putting up the goal.
Jules, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you texted that he did hit 100,000, but please drop that in the chat. And I'll go ahead and post that. We dedicated our stream 2 days ago to him.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I must have missed that. I don't know how I missed it. So,
So yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah,
oops, I want to pull up Jade's. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
really
No,
sad.
it's sad. Yeah, unexpected like that. Yeah, I believe I'm going to be on Baker tomorrow morning, and I believe Jeff was going to be on Friday. He was scheduled to be on Friday. So um,
Yeah, and Kurt, that's how I found out because Kurt
yeah,
um, did
yeah,
a notice. So he was the first one I had heard it from, and you had
yeah,
him on your channel just a few days ago.
yeah.
So I saw that. I miss Baker, Broken Baker?
No, that's tomorrow morning, our
Oh,
time at
tomorrow.
9. So
Okay.
you're two. Is it
So it's the
2?
19th for me already.
Okay, yeah. It's like 1 o'clock over a little bit after 1 for
Yeah,
you.
20,
Okay,
20 past one.
right.
So
Okay. So he's
getting
at
tired.
101.
I'm usually in
I
my
know.
my well, in the pajamas. So yeah, so so I did this premiere on the no dog DNA.
Mhm.
And with my videos, what I try to do is give you a process of law. And I try to find something that maybe you haven't seen or you didn't know, or you say, oh, wow, like the one I did last week. So I'm trying to be regular and do one a week. And people had said, so I showed Karen Reed in custody, and she had been making some statements, the prosecutor said. So a lot of people hadn't seen that video, and I was quite surprised. And what I show in that video is the prosecutor says she says something, but she actually doesn't say what he says she's saying.
Mhm.
So, so I kind of point out things, and yeah. So with this DNA one, I'm pointing out that there could be a reason why there's no DNA, and it's because his wounds weren't swabbed, right?
Right. Right. Now
So
you didn't you do that now segues to you did a video that I watched which I love. It was like the absence of evidence is not the evidence
yeah,
that's absent or something. You want to talk a little bit about that because I love that. I love that turn of phrase. It really made me
yeah.
think, you want to
The
talk a little bit about
absence of
that?
evidence is not evidence of absence.
Right, right. Yeah, I just love that. You want to tell our
Yeah.
chat a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, and what I've been trying to do too is use your channel instead of going on the bigger channels to grab my clips.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, some of the bigger channels, you have to cover up their logos. I haven't been covering up yours. So, do let me
Thank
know
you.
if you want me to cover them up. But I thought more exposure, the better. And
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
yeah, so, yeah, so I did another video on because I'd heard it like 3 times now in 3 different trials.
Mhm.
So I'd heard it in um the one with the guy across the bridge. What was that guy? Richard Richard Allen, or Allen Richard
Oh, yeah, the Delphi. Yes, yeah, yeah. Richard
Delphi.
Allen,
Thank
Delphi.
you.
Yep, yep.
And so I'd heard it in there, and then
Mhm.
I'd heard it on another case with the. I did a video called Deja Vu, and that
Mhm.
was the girl that was jogging, and you also covered that. So I used your video in the background for my clips.
Mhm.
And then Duty Ron and Ed Wallace, he gave a really good description of what that meant from a scientific point of view.
Mhm.
And so then I put all that together. And then what was really interesting is I try to find something from England as well to share. And I found out that, yeah, Lake and Riley. So I found out what happens, when criminals here, if they're not native to England, if they're not resident here, or if they're foreigners, and it's quite a hot topic, really. What happens to them when they go to prison? And so that video tells you all about that, because I was really shocked at what our government is doing now. I hadn't heard of that, what they're doing with that. So, because I think there was a lot of chatter about this person that committed the crime, and it was in Florida, wasn't it?
Lake and Riley, no, Abira, that was Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, that was
Sorry.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Georgia, and
Close enough. Yeah,
close. Yeah,
yeah.
close.
Close enough.
So
Yeah.
still warm.
Right.
But there was a lot of chatter about him not being an American citizen, right? And
Yep.
So I thought, well, that's how I'll link it all in together.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's, I want to, because I've been dying to ask this question and I don't think anybody, if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the chat and I'll pop them up. You watch a lot of US trials, obviously, and the UK does not stream trials per se. They stream sentencings. Is that how I
Yeah.
understand it? Is
Yeah.
that opening up? Is that kind of making, or is that down the road another generation still? Do you think before we pass away in our lifetime, do you think you'll have a chance to stream a UK trial, or no? What do you think?
I don't
Yeah,
think so. I don't.
yeah.
I don't think so. They're pretty, like when there's a case going on. It's, I was telling you, you have to get permission from the courts. Like
Mhm.
if I wanted to stream, like, so the high courts are streamed, right? So I can, anybody can log into them, but we can't share that stream, and
Right.
it's weird. But and then if I want to share it with the public, then I would have to get permission. So I've done a few of them, and you have to write to the court and get permission. And if you're, so I've done a few cases where, like, because you can read the sentencing remarks from the court, from the judges. So I use that. I have a playlist called, what do sentencing teach us, right? So because we can learn a lot from the way sentencing goes and the judge's remarks. A lot of judges will do the same sort of thing, won't they? If one judge decides one way, it's very likely that another judge will use the same theories and stuff. So that playlist, I will go through like sentencing remarks from the judge. And we have to get the redacted ones, like, so the ones that are allowed for the public. Yeah.
Okay. I have two I want to pull up. One is therapist. Why is that? You think, why aren't they open to streaming? Is that why do you think the courts? Is this just the high court, or is this all the courts?
I don't know. I don't know why.
And
That's
it's not
not
just
my area, right?
right.
Like I don't, and I wasn't. I worked in an area for building justice, building confidence in justice, and that was a nationwide project. And the courts participated because they're just one part of our judicial system, right? So you've got the courts, you've got the prisons, you've got victim rights, you've got solicitors, you've got there's a lot that are involved, youth offending. So I worked in that, but I don't know why they should, because it would be, our courts are behind and it's very expensive. So I think it would be a good way for courts to make money if they did stuff like that,
I agree. And then is it really just the US? Are we the only ones, or not we, but I guess the US, are they the only ones, we the only ones that stream trials then? Nobody else, like France doesn't, Canada doesn't?
I've never seen them. I don't know.
That's so wild. I mean, I am very thankful that the US does. All right, I want to pull this up from a fellow UK or Unbalanced Equation. The appeals court are streamed, and also the Supreme Court.
Yeah, the higher courts.
So that's considered the high court. Okay, so then is that something that
you can log on? That's the one I was telling you that you cannot. Like it says right there, do not share, and do not record. Okay. So you have to do it yourself. So you just log on.
So it's basically just it's just like personal. It's just for personal use. You can just view it yourself, but you can't then transmit that out and stream it.
Unless I get permission.
Unless you get permission. Okay.
So I wrote, in my live playlist, you'll see one that's called something about cash, or a cashless society. And live, it's in there. And I share a bit of the court making a decision, an appeals court. And I had to get permission, but it was so hard to understand them and to hear. The sound was really bad. So it was like, I kind of gave up on it.
Is it Money Financial Matters? There's 69 videos in that playlist.
It's in the live. If you go to the
Oh,
live,
live.
only live.
Live, okay. Because I want to tell our chat about it, and it's called
Yeah.
Cash, or let's see,
Cashless Society, something like that. I don't know.
Orwellian. I definitely want to see that. Are we in Orwellian times?
Yeah.
Definitely want to check that one out. Oh, here it is. Is it legal for shops to not take cash payments?
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay. All right. So that'll be a good one. Yeah. So is it legal for shops to not take? So forcing people to just use credit. Is that the gist of that?
Yeah. So the whole idea is that if you go to a shop and they say they don't accept cash, is that legal to say they don't accept cash? Right. And then I go through all the pros and cons and how everything is decided and stuff. So cash.
Do you carry cash on you, or is it all credit for you?
Oh, millions.
I don't carry cash. I haven't carried cash probably 20 years or something. It's amazing how I have I mean, that's all I used to do is go to the ATM, take out $100, walk around, spend it, 2 minutes in New York,
Well, yeah, because my Canadian account it doesn't always work. Like the Canada, our debit cards, what do you call them? The Canadian one only works in a bank machine. So if I want to spend cash, I have to take it out of my Canadian one because I can't use it, right? Otherwise, I have to use just my debit card in England or whatever. But I do, so if my parents send me money or whatever, right, then I'll use cash. So I still like cash. I find if I'm using cash, I don't spend as much money because with the with the debit card, you don't even know what you're spending, do you?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's really interesting that, we have hurricanes obviously over here in Florida where we are specifically. We get hit quite often. Matter of fact, we had 3 this last season, which is our summer, and you need, when the grid goes down, you need cash. And there was one, so whenever that's hurricane prep, whenever a storm comes through, I always go out and I get $100-$200 because, there was one, I think it was Wilma. I believe it was Wilma. We lost power for about 2 weeks. And generally you only have enough supplies. They stay for about a week, but we maybe had supplies for 2 or 3 days, and we had 2 dogs, we had a cat, and it was this whole thing. But we were able to survive because this one sushi restaurant, they were like the only restaurant that was open in miles. And we would go there and they accepted cash because the grid was down, electricity was down, so.
Well, part of my role when I was working for the county solicitor was to be part of the emergency services team. So it's a volunteer kind of job but you have to be at a certain level before you can apply. And then if there's any emergencies in the county, then you would get shipped over to them and basically still get your same pay, right? So so your section of employment would say, no, they get paid. So, and within my first year of working there, we had a gas shortage, like a petrol shortage. So that was kind of cool because I got a petrol card so I could get in front of everybody.
Nice.
Look at the pros.
Right. Did they look at you sideways like, hey, what are you doing?
Emergency services team.
Preferential.
So and then the other one was cat and mouse, cow disease. So
yes, yeah,
and that was pretty horrible. But that was mostly training for a lot of unalive, like making sure we had enough if the worst happened. That was pretty scary, and that was really sad to see so many cows be executed.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Now, was that mad cow disease? Is that what that was, or was that was? I remember that. Yeah,
so that was pretty horrible. And then the next one was we had flooding. So if anybody looks up flooding in Tewksbury, you will see, I mean, it went, what, 7 feet high, and our water.
Wow.
So where I came into play, so the water, the manufacturing where they clean the water and everything. So it was flooded. And so we had no clean water.
Oh
And
my.
literally they had the army on the streets passing out water for people.
Wow.
And then because we had something like enough rain for like in a few hours that it was unbelievable anyway. So yeah, it was so a few emergency services that you don't really think of,
Yeah.
Um,
So Jenny asked, what happens if they don't have cards? My stepdad didn't even have a debit card. He refused to have anything other than cash. So how would these stores, do you touch upon that in the that video that you posted? Like what happens if
yeah,
somebody
yeah,
just refuses?
it goes through all the things, like it
Yeah.
gets you thinking, like,
Mhm.
well, yeah, I mean, that's the problem, if they're a private business,
Mhm.
right? You can't force them.
I was just going to ask. I mean, it's up to them, right? There's no federal law or state law or county law
There's
that
no law
says there's no
to say
law.
that you have to take cash,
Right. Wow. And
right?
then you don't have to, if you're a patron, then you can say, okay, then you
Then I'm
go
not
and
coming there. Yeah,
yeah, my money's good somewhere else.
exactly. So
That kind
you
of thing.
speak with your, with where you shop, don't you? That's how you make your decisions. And
Absolutely.
there's like, and that's one of the problems with what someone just said, is that if you have, if older people, because they're in their communities, right, and they get their money from the post office, usually they get the cash and then they can spend it. So it's really sad when, you know especially if they don't want to use a debit card, because that's
Yeah.
just not the way they roll, right?
Yeah. So Capri law. Yeah. Many sports arenas here don't take cash.
Sports
Yeah.
arenas.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
actually, I went shopping the other day and I had to just pick up some bananas because my main shop, I forgot to get bananas and we love bananas. So I just ran down the street and grabbed some bananas. And I figured it was only going to be like $2 or $3, and it ended up being like $1.59, $1.59. And luckily, Erin had $20, so I sheepishly borrowed her $20, and uh,
Yeah.
because I would have, I don't know if I would have felt foolish, but I would have been like, here's and I've done that before where, I've bought a pack of gum and it's only 50 cents and here's my card. I have done that before. But I'm glad that I did have cash. I think it is still valuable, and maybe we're a dying generation. That I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't have kids. I don't have any really. I do have nieces and nephews I could talk to, and then my siblings have their grandchildren who are in their teens and 20s. I guess I could talk to them and say, "What's your thoughts on do you guys like? Do you even know what a $2 bill? I don't know, $2 bills, $5 bills. Can you make change? I know a lot of kids can't cursive write. They can't read an
Yeah.
analog clock. So is that
I have
another one of those dying breeds? What do you think, or what do you have there?
absolutely, kids need to do that.
Do you have demonstratives?
Look
Do
what
you
I
have
have.
demonstratives?
Look what I have. I have.
What? Show us, please.
Wait. And I think, yeah, I have an American
Oh, you do.
dollar bill.
There you go. How was it? 10 or what are they? I can't quite see them.
American $2 bill.
There you go, a $2 bill.
I don't think they make them anymore, do they?
They do not. Yeah, same with the Susan B. Anthony. I think they
And a
got rid of that as
Canadian
well.
$1 bill.
Oh, there you go. See,
They don't
that's
they don't make them anymore.
really wow.
So
It's
yeah.
it's
So I
sad on
saved
one
them
hand.
since I was little.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause I
all
heard
for I'm all for technology and progress and all that stuff, but some things I don't think should go away. I don't know. I think paper money, I don't know. Cursive writing, I would think you'd still need to know how to do that, but
Well, it's funny because I did some shopping. I don't know if it was yesterday, the day before, and I was at Marks and Spencer's, and I always go in there, right? So I had some apples, and then they had some things on sale, so I was like grabbing, and I thought, oh, I don't know how much money I brought, right? So I thought, oh, I'll just have to use my card. And so anyway, the guy said it was around 15 something. So, I might have enough change because, change starts to weigh you down.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I remember back in the day, I'd be walking around with, I'd
Yeah.
have like saddlebags. I would clink as I walked around.
Isn't it? So I said, here, let me see. So here the lineup is going out the door by this point, and I'm counting every penny.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a great story. Okay, I was in New York City for a while. Let me read this by Florida PI Sam. Gen X will rise when the rest of the world crashes because we have legitimate, tangible skills, spoken like a true Gen Xer, like map reading, yep, and making change and common sense.
Map reading.
Yep. Yeah. Can you read a map? So do you know north, south, east, and west? If you are put in anywhere, are you able to figure your way out? Like, do you know which way north is?
Yeah, I took astronomy at university, so
Nice.
I could figure my way around. Like I know how to read it. And I had when I first came to England, I did a lot of climbing. So I climbed some mountains. Hard to believe now, but my first one was Penny Fan. And if anybody's ever been to Wales, it's a really nice climb. Okay. Because you're basically on sheep paths, and you're walking up, and you don't really notice that you're going so high. Okay, so I don't believe it meets the mountain status, right? Because it's just that much under. But I remember it took like almost 2 hours just to get to the end, to the part where you're going to go up the mountains, but this when you get up there, it's just unbelievable, right? So but what I found out is that I was really scared of the last few hundred feet. You pass graves, like it's like if you imagine going skiing and in Everest, you pass, like there's graves of people that have been blown off that mountain because it's still pretty strong. And so, but so that is also a route that the RAF train on. So here we are walking like old people, and the RAF guys were like running past us and jumping over streams and stuff, and it was pretty cool.
Like the sheep that they are.
Yeah, and I thought, have you ever been mountain climbing or anything?
No. The tallest mountains I've been on would be on the East Coast, and they were like maybe 2,500. So I was going to ask you what the elevation was.
Yeah, so it would I don't know. I'd probably have to look it up. It's been so long. But yeah, it's a steady climb. I mean, you're like that. If you could pull it up on the screen, what they look like, because it is fascinating. Just put up Penny Fan. So PENN.
Is it FAN? Penny Fan?
Oh, there, somebody's put it.
There we go. PENYFAN. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just look at those mountains. They're just beautiful. Like, and so you don't, like, I don't know if I could do it now because I'm so out of shape, right? And that was 27 years ago.
Nice.
But
that looks cool.
Can you show it, or is it?
Let's see. You're asking me to do something that
present screen.
All right, hold on. Visit Wales. Should I go to Visit Wales?
Yeah, Unbalanced Equation knows exactly where it is.
TripAdvisor. I'm trying to think which site should I go to? 4 routes. Let me check this one
out. Views of Penny.
All right, here. Let me pull this one up. All right, let's see.
If I would have been prepared, I could have got some of my photos.
No, you're good. Let's see. All right. This ought to be interesting. No, I don't want to do that. I've never done that before, so I'll try for just a second or two, and then I'm not going to continue on.
Yeah, if you do, can I do it? Is it?
I don't know.
You just do present screen.
Yep. Present, share screen.
Yeah. Then you push the one on top that you want.
I know usually I see that, but it's not. Okay, let me see. Allow. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in a different browser. I'm in Firefox, so it's not allowing me to do it. I think I have to probably be in another browser. So
So if I do it, let me
try to
see.
do it. Yeah, try to do it on your end.
Can you-
Yeah, I think if I was in like Chrome or something, I might be able to. Yeah, because I know you can choose the URL and then you can share it. I've done it before, but I don't know if I've done it in. Um,
866 meters. Let me
it's
get a good
beautiful.
picture of
I'm
it.
looking at here.
Oh yeah, here's some. Okay, so if I do, so what? How do I get back to StreamYard? Okay, there. So if I do that, and I do, will it work if I do present, share screen, and share? Yeah. So I just push this, right?
Yeah,
Share
so
screen.
it's telling me I'm in Firefox and it's not letting me do it. I thought I had done it before in Firefox, but clearly I have to be in a different browser.
If I say the tab, if I say, oh yeah, there. Is it
Okay.
sharing?
Let me add that to stay. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, so yep, there you go.
So I hope there's no music, right? It's Bing
I'm
images. It
here.
shouldn't.
Yeah, I was on visitwales.com, but if you find another site,
But you
that's
can
cool
see how
too.
beautiful they are.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Now, did you
Okay, you
get
see this one
snow?
right
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Yeah. Did it? I'm trying there. You see that part right there? This part,
The
like there's
the
parts where it's really. Oh, is that? Are we still there? Yeah. So, let me go back because I think the other one is better. But you can see how you're on these little walkway. Like it's like
yeah.
where
So
there.
it's
That
you're
might be a good
walking
one.
the whole time, right?
Uh,
You're not like scrambling or climbing up a sheer cliff. It seems like, right? It
there.
seems like it's
Yeah, you're walking, but I was hoping they have this one where it shows all the, I think it's like 4 mountains in a row when you get at the very top that you can see,
okay.
and they look like fingers.
Oh, nice.
But why haven't they showed them? Don't tell me I have the only photo. And
So is this the
I
big
can put
one?
it on my
Is it
fan hike
so
walking
it's
route.
called the big one, and then there's the quiet one, the tough one. Do
Yeah,
these
but
sound
there's.
familiar? These
I
are
will put it
hikes.
on my community page where it
Okay.
shows the mountain, like the 4. It almost looks like 4 fingers, and I can't believe they don't have that.
Check out, okay, do me a favor, check out visitwales.com. Go to visitwales.com if you don't
Okay,
mind.
so are you still on the other one? Just
Uh,
visit wales.com.
yeah, visitwales.com. Try that because they have these different hikes. It looks really cool. They've got the gentle one.
Yeah, they've got the different ones. Like, okay, so now
You have a space in
I,
between. We'll try that. Just try that. You have a space between visit and Wales. That might not work, but let's see what happens.
and then what do I do? Just
Yeah, just hit
click.
enter. Yeah, hit enter.
I've never done this like live. I looked up,
Uh,
so
okay, so yeah, Visit Wales. It's called just visitwales.com and then things to do. Okay, yeah, click it, do things, click on things to
oh
do
yeah,
there.
there.
Okay. Yeah.
This one. Click on the
Okay.
.com. Yeah.
Yeah, try that one. Oh no,
Oh,
that's
this.
wales.com, then visit.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I've never done this on mine. I've never done this on mine either.
Yeah, the site. Okay, I think that's the wrong site. Yeah.
Explore Wales.
Oh, okay. Oh, the one on the right. See the one on the far right where it says wonderful waterfalls, visitwales.com. And then it says visit site, the blue button. Can you click on that, or are we into something else?
Where are you seeing that?
Uh,
Oh,
wait, and then your browser window all the way to the far right where it says wonderful waterfalls, and then the blue tab that
I'm
says the
clicking
blue button.
through. I wonder.
Are we?
Visiting Wales.
Yeah, just visit
Oh, well,
wales.com. Just straight up visit wales.com.
is it showing? Is it showing anything?
No, it's stuck on
Ah, okay.
it is worth it,
Well,
guys. This is if we
what
can.
I'll do is I will put one of my climbing pictures on there. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't see the rolling fingers,
All right.
which is so cool. So,
All right. I'll remove
I
the
can't.
do I,
Well, this is interesting. So I'm scrolling through, but you guys can't see me doing that.
yeah, you're frozen. Must be frozen. Let me remove it. Let me remove and then refresh your page, refresh wherever you are, and let me try to add it again.
Yeah, well, I think people get the idea, right?
Yeah,
How
let me just
nice
try.
they are.
All
Images.
right.
Has anything?
Yeah, it might just be our
No.
connection too. All right. All right. Well, we can
You know
move
what?
on.
I might have the only picture in the world with the rolling hills when you get up to the top. That would
We
be pretty
can.
cool. Maybe
Yeah,
they
it
don't
is
share it
cool.
because
But
they
yeah, they
want
have
you to experience. So you can't
they have
even
these
see what I'm
different
doing.
hikes. It's no, it's like it's frozen. All right, we'll move on. But that is
Okay, so
cool.
how do
Yeah.
I get out of it? Okay, am I back? Am I
That
back?
yes, you are back. Yes. Do you see yourself? Do you see me?
Oh,
We should be
okay.
back. Okay, yeah. But that was cool. So yeah,
Yeah,
guys, check it
yeah.
out. Go to Karen's community page and or visit wales.com and it
Yeah,
is
well, wait, give me time.
very yeah, yeah.
Gotta go through my
It's not going to be
photos.
instantaneous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Um,
Um,
yeah, and I took flying lessons, so I learned a bit about, you know, longitude and altitude and
right.
everything. God knows if
Are,
I can remember it now.
are you an
I'm one of these,
aviator? No.
but I'm one of these people that like to try things, right? I like to try
Mhm,
things. And
mhm,
so, but taking flight lessons in England is very difficult because it's
mhm.
always raining. So
Yeah.
I had 4 lessons all together. And then I
Mhm,
realized, oh my God, you got to be a mechanic as well. Um, I
mhm,
couldn't figure that. Like, so I don't think I could have gone very far in that.
mhm, mhm. Have you followed the whole drone situation going on? It's going on all over the world, but have
Yeah,
you?
I mean, here you have to have a certain sized road. You have to have it registered, right? So I can't believe because I heard they are quite big. I heard Ed Wallace on Duty
Yeah,
Ron saying that they're like saw them and they're big. So
they're the size of SUVs. I mean, these things are huge. Yeah.
so why don't they know what's going on? Like it's
I don't know. I don't know. Well, I know they're going on. I thought they're going on in the UK too. Are there sightings in the UK yet?
oh, I don't know. I haven't heard.
Oh, okay. Or maybe it was Australia. Maybe
Horrible and raining today. It's like windy.
uh,
Look, I curled my hair for you twice, you guys.
thank you. We appreciate it. It
But
looks
it's
great.
gone. The humidity is so bad. It's like I thought I to try to make myself look like the picture, you know.
Oh, you look fantastic.
Well,
Yeah, it's weird because with the drones, they're like on one hand, we're supposed to be one of the most, secure nations in the world and, blah, blah, blah. But then the other
yeah.
hand, they're like, oh, we don't know what's going on. So I'm like, pick a lane. Which is it?
Oh, that can't be right. It just can't be
Yeah,
right, can it? Yeah.
no, no. Yeah.
So you guys, I was watching your trial on. Do you remember the guy, the student that went missing?
Uh,
We won't say
which,
too much, but the student that went missing,
let me
and
think.
um, and the judge
Mhm.
said something like, "You don't have to keep asking me to approach the bench."
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Let me think.
And
This was, yeah.
I have been desperately looking because I remember somewhere in the Karen Reed trial, the judge admonished,
Mhm,
um, was it Alan Jackson for
mhm,
not asking to approach the bench? So I
mhm.
really wanted to put a clip of those two together, but I thought I don't have time to go through 33 days. And
I
I figured
know.
it would be at the
And
beginning. But if anybody ever
how?
has that clip, send it over because that'd be great. I've already done the one clip of the judge saying, don't worry about it. Some judges are so easy to get along with, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to say one thing that you could do that would probably drive you crazy would put together all of Lally's what if anything. If you put all those, strung all those together, you'd have like 500. What if anything? What if anything? What if anything? What if anything? What if anything?
And I
And
thought of doing one in the and for saying somebody would sneeze. Oh, God, or bless you, or something. What did the judge say? Bless you.
Kranik,
Bless
right?
you?
That was Kranik would always say "bless you." Yeah, yeah. That
And
was
I thought
Judge Kranik.
I'd probably appeal on just that alone because how disruptive. You know, but I
That's
thought that
funny.
was funny. He's so nice. Appeal him on something nice, right? Oh, the judge is too nice.
He is the best. He is, he's, well, I'll ask you this. Who is your favorite judge for this year? Who is your favorite judge?
Yeah. Well, I have probably a couple of favorite judges, but so this year it wouldn't count because the Murdoch judge is retired now. So
Yeah.
what was his name? Judge, oh my God. And I did videos on him too.
I know. I watched that and I can't remember his name right now either. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll remember it as soon as somebody says it. And then, so I mean, definitely Judge Crane had the patience of Job, right? Like,
yeah,
I think I would have, I don't know. It's hard,
well,
right?
Newman, yeah, Judge Newman. Is that
Judge Newman,
the?
thank you.
Yeah, Newman. Yes, thanks,
That knows
Jenny.
everything. This is great. And
Yes.
so I still swear oh my God, he'd be the type of person I'd want to have lunch with and just chat about life because I think he'd be, so smart or so wise,
Right.
So yeah, Judge Crane it was, and
yep, he was bring the jury was Newman, yeah.
Yeah.
The jury, yeah. He was good, yeah.
Yeah.
So Kranik, Newman.
Yeah, and then you've got the one from now. What is it? See, names terrible with names, right?
That's
so
okay. I am too.
The one where the guy that hit all the people,
Oh, Daryl Brooks, yeah.
Daryl Brooks, thank you.
Yeah,
Duro,
right? Yeah.
She's good.
Duro, yeah.
Duro.
Yeah.
So I did a couple videos on that case, and yeah, I do a real nice comparison if you want to know English to American law. That's a really good one to see the difference, right? Because I show the difference. But yeah, I thought she was amazing. Yeah.
Well, let's touch upon that. I was gonna throw you a softball before we get back to that. I'll throw you a softball if you get that reference. Who's your least favorite judge for this year?
Oh my God, it has to be.
Drum roll.
Starts with a C and ends with an E, but I'm not saying it because I might go to America one day and she might have an uncle and
I know
customs with my Canadian passport and I don't have to get fingerprinted or eye scanned and
everybody, every pregnant pause and
not saying anything.
Bev.
You just have to look at my
boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
And if I could remember dates, it'd be great. And my funniest judge, I want to say it, I guess it's not this year again, is the Zachariah Anderson judge. And he was also the same judge with the guy that, oh no, I just had his name.
Did Rittenhouse? Did he do Rittenhouse? Is that him? Yeah.
That judge, I did a clip of that judge yelling at the prosecutor, and I thought, oh my God. I had a judge let me in London. Oh, I shouldn't say. Somewhere around England. You didn't hear that. And because I was talking like this. Right? Yeah, Schroeder. Oh my God. So I was talking like this in court, right? And the judge said, don't you point your fingers.
Oh, wow.
Okay. We can't show a lot of emotion and we can't.
Right.
So because I talk with my hands a lot, I was like honest in front of the court. And I think the other side, it was a barrister on the other side. And I think he felt really bad for me. Because you don't want to get carried away and start.
Right.
It is very you have to be very careful. And
so that's a
yeah.
perfect segue into the difference between America and the UK, in that we have a lot of attorneys that are very histrionic, and they do
Oh,
this and they throw things and they pound things and they do all that, and they have demonstratives and they roll things. So please
yeah. Oh, and
please go
and
on.
the
Yeah.
judge in the Donna Adelson case and the Charlie Adelson. I like him too. And again, I'd
Oh,
probably
yeah,
see
Everett.
if I don't have papers in front of me, I
I
do
know.
not have memory.
Everett. I think his name's
Everett.
Everett. He's
Yes,
great.
thank you.
Oh,
See,
look, we
I
have
only,
Baker. Hey, Baker.
hey
Thanks for joining
Baker.
us. So
So
you
I
have a
always get
judge.
multiple questions right. Right.
Yeah,
I make
yeah.
sure before I write a test, is it multiple choice? Because I have no memory. So,
I know. I
I
know.
know what is the right answer, but I can't tell you.
I
Um,
know. I know.
yeah,
Well,
so
let's.
Judge
Oh,
Everett. Oh, I love him.
Everett is great. Yeah, I don't know Borowski. So
Hmm,
Baker's saying you have a judge like Darrow. If people play up, she yells like Borowski. I'm not familiar with Borowski.
hmm,
Which case was that, Baker?
I don't know. We're gonna see
Nope.
Baker tomorrow. I
Yeah,
love
or they
Broken
hold.
Baker. Do you know what? I was so surprised. I've been listening to Broken Baker and I'm in his chat quite a bit. Just depends on what time, because sometimes I get up really, really early, like 4 o'clock, or sometimes I go to bed at like 2 o'clock. So depends, right? I have varied schedules. And
Right.
I couldn't believe how young he is. He's like, my daughter is older than him.
Oh.
And
Ah.
when I think of such young people doing such amazing things with their life, and
Yeah.
Nurse Kim, I've fallen in love with Nurse Kim lately, and Aunt Bev, is that right? Auntie Bev?
Auntie Bev. Well, she's the Karen Reed judge.
No, but the
Oh.
character. Um,
Oh. I see what you. Yeah.
is it called Auntie Bev or Auntie? So he's a comedian.
Yeah, which he does like the parodies, music parodies. Is
Yeah,
that? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah,
And
yep.
he's been on with Nurse Kim. Oh my
Mhm.
God, I am telling Auntie Deb. Thank you.
Auntie
Um,
Deb, yes, yes.
the
So
the
is the.
crab crawl.
I haven't watched a video from him for a while, but when Karen was happening, we watched a couple of videos. Oh,
No, these are
Baker,
such
really?
young people. Like they're literally my daughter's age,
Baker,
right?
are you really 27? Good for you, man.
20. No, my daughter's 30, 39 almost. So 38.
Good on
So
you. Good on you.
27? He can't be 27.
What are you doing over there? Are you?
That's amazing.
Is it the water?
That's surprising. So anyway, so I get really excited when I see such young people and they're doing wonderful things. They're talking about the law. They're interested in our society, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? I'm
All
40.
right. So you're 47. Your daughter's 23. All right.
Oh,
You even
okay.
still look great for 47.
Why did I think he said he was 38 the other day?
Oh.
Okay. So we got that wrong. Okay.
You're just messing with us now, Baker. You're just
Anyway,
messing
he's
with
very
us.
young. So, okay, let me do a little something for Christmas, because I don't know, do you guys get these little things in the mail, like sending cards to people, but they are actually snow globes?
Oh, that's cool.
Have you
I am not familiar with those, but that looks pretty neat. So it's like a 3D, it's flat, and then it opens up to 3D.
Yeah,
That's cool.
then you get them in the
Yeah.
post, and they're
Mm-hmm.
okay. So that one I got, and look
Very
at this.
cool.
This is, I have to show you because they're just so cute. And this one reminds me a lot of Canada, because my door back home was very similar. I had like a half moon, and
That's really cool. That's
aren't they
very
cool? And they even
That
have
is.
the back, like with the trees. Can you guys see?
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. We have this manufacturer here called Love Pops, and they have it's flat cards, and then they open up into just these
Oh,
spectacular.
yeah, I got this one.
Yeah. That's cool.
Reindeer and stuff.
Very nice.
So anyway, I love Christmas, right? So, and there's another one with the Mary. And every place I travel to, I always get something, right? So when I was in Turkey, it was Tunisia or Turkey, I got these little stone carvings of the nativity. So every time I go somewhere, I try to collect something for Christmas, right? So I just wondered if everybody's having a good Christmas, getting ready. I mean, it's like, what, a week away?
It's next Wednesday, right? Yeah, it literally is a week away. Yeah,
It's literally a week away, isn't it?
literally a week
Hard to
away.
believe. I've got all my Christmas presents over there, and I've
Mhm.
been searching on the internet to how to wrap like really fancy stuff.
Oh,
And so I've been learning, but let me show you something else I've done.
yeah, please do.
Because like I said, when I want to do something, I set out to find a way to do it, right? And so if I like something, like I paint, right? I do my
Oh,
own paintings and stuff.
nice. What oils, acrylics, watercolor,
Acrylics,
acrylic?
acrylics.
Nice.
And
Uh-huh.
so that's when I was sailing by the Rock of Gibraltar.
Oh.
And when I was on Steve Gosney's channel, I took it down to show everybody.
Mhm.
So I made these things, and there's somebody in the chat that's going to get one because one of my mods is just amazing. So
Yep.
I'm going to show it on TV now.
Right.
So I saw these things and I thought, I really, really want to learn. Has anybody seen this before? Okay. So this looks
Not
like,
yet. Not yet. Go ahead. What does it open up? Oh, and that's a watermelon? It looks like a watermelon.
I made it into a watermelon.
That is so cool.
Isn't that, and
So
it's crocheted.
I was gonna say it's
They take,
crocheted. Very cool.
literally, they take 10 minutes to make.
That's
Okay.
very cool.
10 minutes to make this. Okay. And guess what I did? Because I thought this is a perfect present for
Mhm.
people that I see. And I got a leather company to make this. Look at, can you read that?
Legal-minded friends, information is power. Very cool.
How
Oh,
cool is that?
that is very
So,
cool.
and but then I thought, oh no, I put shells and everything on some of them. So I thought I can't actually mail that to America because I think shells and stuff like that are, you can't get it
Mm,
through customs. So
sure.
on some of my other ones, and I did one of the American flag because I've got a friend who's really into American politics. So
Mm,
she's going to get one for Christmas. Yes,
mhm.
Lexi.
Yeah, it is very cool. My mom used to crochet. I've got sweaters, a hat. She made these little slipper booties thing. I still have those. Yeah, those are cool.
Those aren't those cool? So every year I try to make something. So on my stream last year, I showed something that I made. I learned how to make 3D snowflakes, and I
Okay,
showed that on one of my lives. Because
nice.
every year I like to learn something. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, I've got to learn how to do that, right? So I
Hmm.
found a YouTube, and it showed it. I showed you how to do it,
Hmm.
and yeah, I just literally 15 minutes, and I couldn't believe it. It's that fast, you guys, and it's so beautiful. And you can make them bigger, right?
Hmm.
You can make them bigger if you want, like fatter.
Sure, sure. No, that's
So
really cool.
well,
That is
because
very
I do a
cool.
lot of reading, oh my God, I've been reading through this one legal file, and it's like my eyes almost get sore. So I just try to
Hmm.
take a break and do something fun or do something like, so I will listen to you or to Broken Baker while I'm doing something fun, painting or like learning how to do something
Sure,
like
sure.
those.
Let me ask you a question. Do you ever disconnect from trials? And if you do, what do you disconnect to or
And
with?
what do you mean? And the ones I'm watching on the YouTubes?
Just disconnect. Like, are you always watching trials, or do you watch other things, other movies, documentaries, other things on YouTube,
Yeah.
cooking,
Yeah.
animals, or is it always just trials for you?
No, definitely. I look at other things. So, like for Christmas, I always like to bake my own goods and stuff.
Hmm.
So, like for example, last year I learned how to make these. The Broken Baker would understand this, but they're pastries,
Hmm.
and you roll the pastry and you put different lines. So one will be like crushed pecans with
Hmm.
with honey, and another one will be chocolate with chocolate chips, and another one will be strawberries. And then the way you roll it right? You roll it into each other, and then you cut it. You make these fancy things, and then you put some oh my God, it was amazing, you know? And so
Wow.
I always try to learn. So yeah, I learned this year what I think I'm going to do, because I went through a couple of channels and I saw ones with, they're called chocolate milk bombs. So
Okay.
chocolate hot milk bombs.
Okay.
So
I like where this is going. Go on.
chocolate milk bombs. That's what they're called.
Okay. Good.
So you make this thing you'd have to look it up, but the way you make it, and then when you put it in the cup and you put the boiling milk or however you like it, and then it opens up and everything, and it's quite cool. So I
Wow.
will do it. But yeah, so definitely
Mhm.
I don't always watch crime, like
Yeah.
true crime. Definitely don't always. Yeah. It's
Yeah. You
I
have
think
to, right? You have to disconnect at some time on some level. You have to, otherwise it just becomes this constant barrage of negativity, if you will. I don't know, you know.
and don't forget, when I'm looking at a trial, I'm probably looking at it different to you, right? Because
Hmm.
I'm looking for something specific that I can
Sure.
chat about.
Yeah.
So if, like with the Darrell Brook ones, I could see where it was going. I could just see it. So I thought,
Hmm.
oh, I'm going to make a video out of the differences with the UK being a pro se, right?
Hmm.
And you can start to see a pattern, especially how judges decide, how they talk, how the solicitors talk. I did a lot on the Charlie Adelson case.
Hmm.
Um, that prosecutor is very organized, very easy to follow, right?
Oh,
She's
yeah. She's great.
straight,
Yeah.
straight and narrow. But when
Hmm.
I found issues, like, let's say, with what she was saying, because
Hmm.
I think a lot of the way she presents, I would just tell you something else and let you figure it out.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah, it does. See, you're right. I have a different approach because I right now is the way I'm viewing it is I have to just get all the information and then regurgitate it at the breaks. So I watch the witnesses, I take copious amounts of notes, and then I recap. That's basically what
Mm.
I'm doing is I recap.
Yeah,
So
you're recapping.
I'm recapping, and after every break, I try to and not try. I'm doing recaps, and it's amazing because before I was forced to be on screen, I would I would tune out a lot. You know, I because you know we have a marketing agency, so I'm doing work over here, and I'm working on other clients and stuff, and then I would kind of come in and I would listen to if it was something boring and I wasn't interested in it, I would I would jump in the chat. Oops. I would jump in the chat and I would just, chat. And I really wouldn't pay attention to the trial. Now I am paying attention to every single detail.
Oh,
And
now it's different, isn't it? Because you're
it's
just
way different. It's way different. And it's cool because, um, I've always been interested in it, but there's a lot of times where I tune out. But now I have to be even more engaged because then I have to be that conduit for our chat. Because a lot of people will be like, you know, what happened, or I missed that, or I need to keep notes. I'm like, well, that's me. I'm keeping the notes, for
yeah,
for
yeah.
our chat. So you're right. So you're looking for a specific thing,
I'm looking for a specific thing to teach. Like when I was watching
Yeah.
the Johnny Depp hearing, the civil trial, the
Yeah.
civil
Yeah.
hearing, I
Yep.
was looking for specific things to compare with the UK. And
Yep.
so that was what I did. Every single one of my Johnny Depp ones are
Hmm.
just a comparison, and that's
Hmm.
it. And the other thing with UK law that's different to American law,
Hmm.
we do a lot of stuff on paper, right? So
Hmm.
we don't have like um depositions with people. Like we literally, everything goes back and forth with statements. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then when we get to a point where we're in court or whatever, if so for example, when you write a statement in the UK, in
Hmm.
England and Wales, I should always say, the difference is if you get on the stand and say something different,
Hmm.
okay, that's not going to be allowed in because it's not something you brought up before, right? So you have to be very careful. So we can't have any of this surprise, right? Whereas Americans, you know how they leave everything for I mean, I think with the Charlie Adelson case, they said, oh, they were leaving their defense until, until they wanted to spy. So we don't really have a lot of that. We put all our cards out on the table. There's no spinning. Everything is just laid out. We try to say what's going on, where we use case law the same. So we'll look at, and with case law, we say, okay, well, maybe that was similar, but it wasn't quite the same. So if you look at my employment list, playlist, I do a little bit more with comparing case law, like saying, okay, this is the situation. This is the case law in it. This is what the judge took to mean that case law to be. And, once you've got precedents and they set things the way, that's the way we try to make sure standards are met, right? So we say, well, this happened in another case. So, but every case isn't the same. So you don't know if the court's going to look at it the same way, right?
Sure.
But yeah, so that's a bit of difference. There is a bit of difference. I did another one with the Lori Vallow one, and it's looking at the comparisons on hiring an expert, right? So, or is it? And I can't remember which one it was, but yeah. So I try to use a court case to show you a process of law approach.
Sure. No, that absolutely does. But isn't that discovery? Isn't discovery about allowing both parties to see what the other party has so that they can make a defense and yet there's every trial we watch, it's like defense. Well, they just gave that to us last week, or that didn't come in until yesterday,
it didn't happen, right? But I mean, like when I was doing criminal law in Canada and I was working for a QC, and what would happen is I was a researcher, right? I did case law research, and there's like you actually get together and you take their deposition, right? You take their statements, so it's totally different. We take our own clients, the other solicitor will take their clients. We share information. Then we get what's called we get to ask more questions. So the court will set a schedule. And so we have to follow. And other videos, I talk about all that, like how the judge does that. Like, let's say if we've asked them for something, so please clarify this, and they haven't, then when we get to court, let's say for an update, then the court will then say, these questions, right, need to be answered. And the court will then decide, the judge will then decide if they're relevant enough to be answered. And yeah, so it's a little bit of a difference,
Now, Florida PI Sam says that's an interesting way to do depositions. I'm assuming that's what you were talking about, where the solicitor.
Well, you've got depositions and then there's discovery, right? Discovery is different, isn't it? So discovery is making sure you've got all the information, right? Sometimes when I'm doing a criminal case in the magistrate's court or the Crown Court, you won't have. Sometimes the prosecutors don't send you all the information. So you call the police and they say, oh no, the bundle, we've given everything. Well, you said there's a tape of something. Where is it? Right? Oh, the prosecutor's got it. Well, the prosecutor hasn't given it to us yet. And then you end up going to court and sometimes you don't have things. And so you have to say to the court, look at, we weren't presented with anything. We need some time, to look at stuff. So, and then other times, like we have bundles the same, so we have contents pages really, and they say what's in the bundle, and it is in a binder here. I remember when I first came to England, everything was wrapped up and tied with these like pink string or something, like pink ribbon. Yeah, it was weird.
That's interesting. Yeah. Right. That, like the saying, tied up in a nice, neat bow. It literally was tied up in a bow. All right. I want to pull this up because this is fascinating. This Hope Case Unwinder. Yes, I've seen that. In fact, the popular quote here is, it wasn't a hearing. hearing, maybe a keyboard rustling. Where is that a popular quote? It wasn't a hearing.
Yes, I've seen that.
It wasn't a hearing. Maybe a keyboard rustling. Hope Case, where is that a popular quote? And what is that referring to? I just saw that. I'm like,
I don't know where they're going with that.
I don't know. Here, I want to, let's see.
Yeah. And if we help, do you remember in the Karen Reed trial, somebody said that they were trying to accuse the defense attorneys writing Dr. Russell's report? Do you remember that?
Which part? Her writing?
Remember that?
Her writing. I watched it, but yeah, what
frozen?
part? No, I'm okay. What her writing frozen? Like her? Oh. I'm not frozen. I'm okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. What?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I watched it, but what do you mean by writing? Like her
written report. The prosecutor tried to blame the defense for writing it.
Okay, as opposed to typing it up or putting it into a computer.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird. But if we write, like, we wouldn't write a report for somebody, but like, for example, I've had experts and they're very expensive. Oh my God. And so the way we pick an expert is both sides will submit who they want, right? You get to submit a few choices. And then if you can't, you read each other's. And then if you can't agree on one, then the court will pick one. So, and we wouldn't write their report, but we might, and we can't change their report, right? There's no way. But what we can do is help people to write a statement, but it has to be in their own words. And I can't suggest things to it. So if you're reading a statement and it sounds too lawyerly, the judge is going to be like wise. And it's not good either, because when the person gets on the stand, they're not going to remember anything they said. Right. So you want to make sure it's that person's statement, right? You might omit some things, right?
Of course. Yeah.
But you don't want to write it in so much legal terms that when the person gets on the stand, they're not going to know what the heck you're talking about.
Correct. Yeah. No, it should be in their words. It should be their experience. That would make sense. Yeah. I found it interesting, just to touch back on Dr. Russell from the Karen Reed pretrial the other day. She was on, I think, for about 6 or 7 hours. And then I went back to, because we were just starting to stream back then. And she was on in the actual trial back in May or June, I guess June. She was only on for like 40 minutes. So they condensed, or they only allowed her 40 minutes during the trial, but then during this pretrial, they were trying to bring in
That's one thing I
much more.
I couldn't remember. I said less than an hour. I thought it was 45. And I thought, I don't have time to go back and figure that out. But I said less than an hour. And now she's on for like all day. And
and she's still not finished. They still have to do cross. I think with Brennan, is that his name? He still has to cross her or continue crossing. So,
And it's just crazy, because I thought one of the questions, and I could have put it in the video I just did, but I kind of wanted it to be about 20 minutes, like under 20 minutes. But when he says, have you listed the articles you've read in your CV? And I thought, oh my God. I mean, I could understand it. I would list the articles if I'm writing a report, right? You do your footnotes and stuff like that, but I wouldn't put it in my CV.
Yeah, I can tell he is going to be, that's going to be a tough one to watch because of him. Now, Hope Case Unwinder, Craig Murray wrote that during the Assange hearings. I did not watch those, so it was referring to witness
I did a video on Hank Brennan, and that was pretty good, pretty interesting to hear him talk, and I had really high hopes. I'm not so sure anymore. But I think it's almost like they're playing a game. It's like, let's just keep them busy with a lot of crap, so that, which I think is wrong to do.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I know. Careful what we ask for, right? We don't like Brennan, but then do we want Lallygagger again? I don't know. I don't know if there was a hearing. Was there a hearing? Was there another Karen Reed hearing today? I didn't have it in my.
7th of January, I thought, is the next one.
Okay, that sounds about right. All right, here I want to get to grass is green enough. I think there's no expunging in the UK. Is there clemency or pardons? We won't keep you too much longer. I know it's getting late. Can you give us like 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. So is there clemency and pardons in the UK?
No, what we have is early release and stuff like that. And so, for example, the courts were kind of full, so they were going to let, I think, 3,000 people out. I don't know how many they ended up letting out. It was in the news, and to free up some rooms in our prisons, right? So you can be let out early, right? And
wow. To free up the prisons, because the prisons are becoming so full, they have to let people out to make room for more people.
You can't make it up. I mean, I meant to look it up to see. I didn't know anybody would ask me this question, but I wanted to see if they actually did or not, right? To see if because I thought you're joking me, right? Like,
wow.
But they're very the criminal courts were really. I did a video last year on it was on gender differences, gender so gender change being in women's prison. So if you're a man,
okay,
right, and being in a women's prison and stuff. So that video took care of that. But so at that time the courts were really, really, really behind, which is kind of scary. So yeah, you can have early release. Yeah, our prime minister doesn't have the power. It'd be like Canadian laws, right? You can't get pardoned.
So who then gives the early release? Who is the person that does that?
The parole board, right?
Parole board, okay.
The
all right.
probation board. So they wouldn't, like a president is different to a prime minister, right? They don't have the same powers. Right. Because like our prime minister is only the prime minister because we go out and vote in our communities, right? And then those people that win those seats then elect a leader. And if that party gets in, then that leader is the prime minister, right? So it can be, that's why there was so many prime ministers one year. I think we had 2 or 3 in a row. Like, I'm trying to think of their names, right? Like, remember the one that looks like Trump? And we had all these different prime ministers, and it's because they would get kicked out of their own party, right? So they say, no, we don't want you anymore. Then they elected.
Is it Boris? Was that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Boris.
All right. So unbalanced equation. Clemency and pardons can still be granted by the king. I was going to ask that. So can the king?
Well, I'd like to see it happen.
All right. Wait, but then he follows it up with, but they are done under advisement from the prime minister.
Yeah.
Has the king or queen
When is the last one that's been done?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Yeah. When is the last one? Has it ever happened under the king and or queen?
I've never heard of it. But
you've never heard of it? Yeah.
Why didn't they let Assange go then? Right. No, I've never heard of it, but I don't know. We could look it up.
Yeah.
When's the last? When was the queen? I can't remember the queen pardoning anybody. Can you?
Oh, I don't know. That's out of my lane. That's above my pay grade.
When was the last UK pardon?
Oh, I think we have an answer. Turing? Is that
2017?
Okay.
Alan Turnley law provided pardons for men convicted of now abolished something that we don't want to say. There you go. Men who were convicted of now. Okay. Alan Turing, 2017.
Turing. Okay. All right. Unbalanced.
Under the policing and crime received royal assent. Oh, so so if they change the law, it looks like what they're saying is then okay, the most recent free pardons were granted to Michael Shields 2009 and Alan Turing in 2013. So yeah,
Okay.
so that's probably why I haven't heard about it.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often.
So yeah, so there you go. I didn't know that. Learn something every day.
Now, what is this purely UK reference? No one in Belmarsh. What is Belmarsh and where is Belmarsh? Is that Hope Case? Where? Forgive my ignorance. I'm not familiar with Belmarsh.
Never. I don't know what they're talking about. This is purely UK reference.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no one in Belmarsh.
Oh, maybe he means Belmar. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with.
Isn't that the name of the king's house, Balmoral?
I don't know. Oh, it's a prison.
Belmarsh prison.
Belmarsh is a prison. So no one in Belmarsh got pardoned, I guess. Is that what
I thought they were talking about a place, Balmoral, like a.
Yeah. So.
So what? Nobody got. I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I guess no one in Belmarsh got pardoned. Maybe that's what Hope Case is referring to.
I don't know.
How
many prisons are there in UK? 76 prisons? I don't know.
Wow.
My friend, when I first came over to England, I met because Gloucester Prison used to do hangings and all sorts. So it's a high prison for high crimes. And so one of my first introductions was to the prison warden, and he took me for fish and chips at the prison where the prisoners make them. And yeah, that was pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah.
And then my office ended up overlooking the prison.
Interesting.
Well, there you go. So
he was a brilliant man, famous in computer. So why was he in jail? I'm not. Well, we'll have to look him up because why?
But it sounds like just the little bit I read about Turing. It sounds like there was a change in law, and so I mean, wasn't there something like that in America where they were saying like there was a lot of people that went to prison for, let's say, lower level drug deals or something, and then when they made it not illegal, should those people still get life? Now, I just wondered because obviously I just quickly looked at that. And
well, because it's still a federal crime, meaning marijuana is still federal. Yes, states, I think like we're up to 24, 25, 26 states have legalized it. But it's still.
But what if you went to prison for life? Like, because there was a whole bunch of people, wasn't there, that went to prison for like, didn't Trump let a few people out of prison, and I think there was like 4 people or 5 people. Can't remember, but he let a whole bunch of people out. That there was like a lady. You can look it up. It was like a lady, and she had just done dealing drugs, like weed, basically. And so I would imagine, those are the people that should be pardoned, right? Like if it's no longer illegal, why are they still in prison?
Right. Well, again, because it's federal. It's still a federal crime. So Turing was flamboyant, and that wasn't okay back in World War II, even for an absolute genius that saved the lives of thousands.
I don't know.
So why was he in jail? What did he do? Oh, because he was gay? Is that why he was in jail?
Oh, maybe. What? Wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Belmarsh.
Okay, so Belmarsh is a maximum security prison. All right. So you have 76. That's really interesting. All right, since we're comparing and contrasting, how many prisons are there in the States? So you have 76.
So one of my friends works in prisons, right? And we were talking about it just the other day, how many prisons there are in England, and she said 76. But I thought, did you say that? I couldn't remember. It's not something I would put in my memory. I've
So there you go. Just for comparison, let's compare and contrast. The U.S. has 6,200. You have 76. But this includes so it includes state prisons, 1,500 state prisons, federal prisons, juvenile correctional facilities, immigration detentions, Indian country jails, and local jails. So that's everything. So
Yeah, but if you look at the population of America and then look at England and
it's
add
all
of Europe, and I mean, we are so small compared to Britain.
It's all relative. Yeah, I get it. It's proportional,
America.
relative. I know. I get it. All right. Anybody else? Let's see. Have any other questions before I will let you go? We'll take a few more questions. Chat, do you have any questions for Karen Cole? And while we wait for some questions to roll in, I'm going to drop pretty sure I put your channel in the description, but this is Karen Cole's channel. Please go over. I know a lot of you guys have already subscribed, but if you haven't already, please go over. What are you up to? You're at 5.44, 5,000 awesome. So you are well above 5,000 subscribers. That is fantastic.
Yeah, it's if anybody gets any what I hope if you watch my videos is that it's going to make you say how many prisons are in. It's going to make you ask questions, right? That's the whole idea of my videos. You'll hopefully go away. Like a lady in the chat today said something really interesting. She had thought John O'Keefe's arm was they put it in a sling or something. She thought it might have been bandaged up. So if you watch my video, you'll understand that. And if it was, why wasn't it used in the first trial? Like there's what my video has to do with. So that's the whole idea. You'll watch it and you'll say, yeah, but wait, what about this? Or what about that? Or do you know what I mean? It's not to catch people out. It's to try to say, think about something else this way. Right?
Yeah. Thank you, Jenny.
Because we're all learning, like, you just don't know, do you? Like, and different judges will be different ways, right?
Yeah.
We do have rolling judges though now, so we don't always get the same judge, which is difficult, And even the prosecutors now have to travel a long way. We've closed a lot of courts here, so which I used to just you have to walk from my office to the court. Literally, it's like the prison, the court, everything is within the same block, right?
Is that let's see, the prisons and the courts. Yeah, that we have jails are close to the courts, but the prisons are not. The prisons are way out in the country, far away from everybody.
Yeah. So where I worked, you have the solicitor's office, you have the county council, you have the police where they have some jail cells, and you have the magistrate's court, the crown court. It's all one area, right? And so it's quite nice for me when I worked there, right? Because you didn't have to travel very far. And then when I worked for a different district, it was literally walk a half a block and I was at the magistrate's court. So
that's incredibly convenient, of course. Yeah, because who wants to get in a car or bus or train or whatever and have to hike, miles or whatever.
Now when I go to London courts, I always have to stay overnight. Whereas before I used to get up really early, just drive. It was always like a 2-hour drive. But now it's just I just find it too difficult. Like it took 5 hours to get back one day because there was rain. And parking is a fortune. In London, it costs a fortune to park. Probably £75 for the whole day. But what I started doing is parking outside of London and then taking a train in.
Yeah, that's smart.
Oh, and today there's my friend called me. He was leaving work and he was stuck on the M5. People from England will know the M5 is one of our main routes and a highway, right? It's like a highway. They call it a motorway. Well, there was a big, some girl, I guess, either she jumped or something. We don't know. Something happened. Yeah. And he left work at 4:00 and he called me at 1:00 just before starting and said he just got home.
Oh
So
my
what's that?
gosh.
4, 5, 5 to 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1. 9 hours in his car.
Mm,
Back to back.
wow.
Unbelievable. So that's the
Wow.
other thing. When there's accidents in England, the
Hmm.
roads are terrible, right?
Hmm.
Like there's no, it's very hard. Like once you're on the road, you're on the road. Like
That's it. You're stuck. Yeah. Yeah.
you're
Yeah. I've
sleeping.
been stuck in traffic before, but not for 9 hours. I've known friends that have tried to escape a hurricane, and they have been stuck in cars for uh,
Oh,
8 hours, 9 hours. Yeah, yeah.
and if we get
It's
a snowstorm here, people will be stuck for hours, right?
yeah.
So that will be something if anybody's from, this area, I'm sure the
Mhm.
police are going to be calling out. I think they've already put announcements out if anybody's seen anything around the M5 between junction 11A and 11, because it's a really, really, it's bad. The girl had to go to Bristol Hospital. So I don't know the extent of it, but we put these out in America, right? Of missing people, things looking out. So the police will want footage from, and our police do like Facebook pages and stuff. So you
Mhm.
can go on them and if they need help or if they need help with the public, yeah.
Yeah.
So they do that. So if you look it up, uh Gloucester Live Motorway, M5 motorway, you'll see a big accident.
I just want to hope case. I did put it. I put it in as this, and I'll post it. This is how I put it in the description. So just so you know, that's how I put it in the description. It's just the at Karen Cole UK lawyer instead of the whole, HTTPS, all that stuff. So that's how it appears in the description. So just
Okay.
just so you know.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, so it's there. But all right, so let's I'll let you go. I got an early day tomorrow. I know you. Thank you again so much for being up with us. I know it's late
My
for
eyes
you.
are like with toothpicks right now.
I know.
But
Do you get like a second wind? Are you one of those people that get a second wind, or when you're tired, you just keep getting tired?
yeah, I mean, I wanted to get that video out for today. I had to
Hmm.
work with a client yesterday and I was like freaking out because I would download and it wouldn't download and it was like, oh
Hmm.
my God. And so like I don't think people realize how hard some of this stuff is. So it's, I don't know, it's like creating is really, I think in some ways it's, if I could get used to doing this. Thank you. Hey, Ziggy, come here. He's sleeping. I don't want to wake him up, but he's,
Oh.
um, but if I could get used to doing lives, right,
Hmm.
then I probably would. But it's like I might have an hour here, 2 hours there, and then there's, do you know what I mean? So it's like fitting it in. But
Yeah.
because I'm retired, I would like to be retired, but I can't afford it. There's just no
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Life is just too expensive.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm a lot of my friends and family are, a lot of my friends are thinking about retiring the next few years. A lot of my family's already retired. I'm like, that is a pipe dream for me. I am not, I don't think I'm going to be retiring anytime soon. So,
Here, Lexi wants to see him, so we gotta
oh
get him
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
Poor Ziggy. Ziggy. Oh, poor baby. And my daughter's going, watch his back. He
Oh,
had a
there,
back
Lexi. Yeah.
operation. He had a
You wake up
back
the baby,
operation.
you take the, oh, and he was there the whole time.
Oh,
Oh, he looks
oh yeah, that's
sleepy.
all the little noises you could hear. That's
I did. I did. I thought that was just the internet connection,
I know
transferring
I
across
was
the
on Sean
Atlantic.
Atwood's channel once, and somebody said, "Did Karen fart?" It's like,
Jesus.
oh my God, no.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
Lexi's
should.
given.
We should explain. We should explain. So, so yeah. So and the other thing with legal, just to end with, is
Yes, please do.
the British courts or the British, judiciary and
Mhm.
it's making we don't speak in complicated terms.
Mhm.
Okay, so we speak so that people can understand us. So
Mhm.
there's no more of this Latin and all this anymore.
Mhm.
which is really nice, because it's about people understanding the law, and our let's say the head of the family courts, and I did a video on it, and he was saying, look, we want to make legal information available to everyone. And what better way to televise if they would televise? Because then people
Mhm.
would learn so much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm so thankful and grateful that the US does, because I think transparency is a great way to go in helping people, like you said, uh, understand and then trust the system. And I
Yeah.
know there's still a lot that happens where I see the justice system. I'm like, that's not fair, but it still gives you, at least it gives you a shot at doing the right thing. It doesn't, it's messy and it's not always perfect, but at least it gives you a shot. And then when you do see something that is unjust, people can rally. People can rally behind that, and they can,
And the
especially.
beauty with the states is that you've got all the individual states, right? So
Mhm.
like we just found out, okay, the king can pardon somebody. I didn't know that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought, no
yeah,
way, I never heard of that. So you
yeah.
learn something every day. But and with the states, you've got that too. Like every single state will be different, right? They'll
Mhm.
have different laws, well, they have different rules, different ways of doing things, you
Every
know?
court within the state, within Florida, every judge
Yeah.
does something different. Every court is different, even
Like
probably
I
within counties.
yeah, in
Yeah.
the Karen Reed one, we looked at the verdict forms. Well, that's the first time I'd ever done a video
Mhm.
on verdict forms. Like who would have thought we'd
Right,
be talking about the way you should write a verdict form? Because
right.
I think and that's another thing when we did the what was it? The Johnny Depp one.
Mhm.
They showed all that as well. There was quite a bit of back and to and fro about the verdict forms, remember?
I do,
So we
yeah.
did, and so we have we have an agency that does all that, right? Like
Mhm.
so the Crown Prosecution Service,
Mhm.
and then everybody puts in their 2 cents the same,
Mhm.
and the verdict, yeah. So the
Yeah.
judge has over here a compa diem, and they make sure they're following their rules, and then we
Mhm.
have what's called as guidance.
Mhm.
So that's really good. So our guidance notes. So if anybody calls me up for legal advice and they say, "Oh, I just got charged with this," so then I can talk them through with the potential of a
Mhm.
of the sentencing and how it would go in court and stuff. So I'm kind of
Mhm.
using my experience now to be more of an advisor and help people to make decisions so that
Mhm.
they can make decisions that are right for them. You know,
Right. Yeah.
what's
No, that's,
evidence? Like that's a big question, right?
yeah.
What is evidence? Like they'll say, "Oh, I have this. Oh, I have this video," and I said, "Well, that doesn't
Mhm.
really show anything or something." Do you know what I mean? So it's
I do.
helping.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate your time. I know it's late for you to come on and then to stay with us as late as you have. I really do appreciate that.
oh my
And
God, I can't believe the
bef
time.
before you go, yeah, no, this was great. I'll let me just pop up there.
Sorry,
Put this
I
up.
said don't get me on because I'll talk forever. That's probably one of the reasons I don't go live because I would never stop talking.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Do you want to end with something before we let you go? What would you like to?
Prayers. What would you like to end with?
I don't know. What do you want to end with? What are you doing for Christmas and New Year's? What are you doing for the holidays? Do you celebrate? I'm assuming you do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What am I doing? I do have a holiday playlist on my YouTube, so I
Oh,
do
cool.
share some of my holiday stuff.
Okay.
Um, you can see last year what I did. If you go to Instagram, I put our Christmas on Instagram,
Okay.
so you can see us and our dinner table and everything. My daughter usually buys us matching pajamas.
Oh. Do you then wear them the next day or
Wear
the
them
that?
all
No.
day,
Oh.
and
Nice.
we do
Nice.
yoga and we drink champagne as soon as we get up, and food
Nice.
all day. And
Nice.
her husband is from South Africa, and I was with somebody from South Africa. We had
Mhm.
broken up over after 16 years, but
Mhm.
so we do a barbecue and stuff,
Mhm.
and
Nice.
yeah, so
So,
we play games. We go over to people's houses, like so. We might go over to someone's house to play a game. Depends,
mhm.
right? So, like
Yeah.
last year after Christmas Day, we went over to. So my daughter does filming, right? She doesn't do the filming. She makes commercials. Okay,
Okay.
so if you go on Pucka Tees,
Mhm.
Pucka Pukka,
Okay.
her that's if you do nighttime tea, and you will see that's
Buckety.
Pucka tea, nighttime tea. That's
Okay.
one of the commercials that she made.
Ah, okay. It's a yeah, organic herbal. Very
Yeah.
cool. So
So
okay, so I'm on their
okay.
website. All right. So
So
she.
so she hangs around a lot of people, different people,
Mhm.
and one of the girls just happened to live down the road from my daughter, who happens to be
Mhm.
the makeup artist for that.
Ah,
And
wow.
so we went to her house for Christmas, like Christmas
Mhm.
Eve, Christmas night, I guess. Yeah,
Mhm.
after. And we
Mhm.
played games till like 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh my God. We were just
Oh,
like
that's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, it's like you need a week off after celebrating Christmas. Um,
Yeah.
you feel like you're going to roll off the couch, because
It's a big blowout, right? Well, it's
yeah.
in the
So
middle of the week.
last year, my daughter and I said, "Come on, let's do something for my YouTube." I said, "Let's write a 'Twas the day before Christmas." So on my holiday, I think you could probably play it for people because there's no music. It's in
Mhm.
my holiday list, and it says, "'Twas the day before Christmas." So then I take you all through the house,
Mhm.
and it's so funny.
Nice.
And I made up, I made up the rhyme and everything, and
Mhm.
um, you know, so I try to do. And the year before, I did one on, yeah, it was what's that one with the ghost before Christmas? Oh, I'm terrible with memory. Um,
Scrooge?
Yeah,
Scrooge? Yeah,
Ebenezer
yeah.
Scrooge, did I
Yeah,
say it
yeah.
wrong for my
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
So the friend that I was telling you that got stuck in the on the highway, he
Mhm.
um he filmed me while I did the story I tell, Ebenezer Scrooge, which is a
Mhm.
really interesting story, and that's in
Mhm.
my holiday playlist as well. So I try
Okay.
to do something really different, like, and that story, it actually shocked me. I had
Mhm.
no idea. And then the year before that, I did the poem on an English writer,
Mhm.
and yeah,
Very
so
cool.
I try to do something like artistic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Different.
So are you going to tease so you're going to do something for this Christmas? You're going to put a
I don't
video up for
know.
this? Oh, you don't
I
know.
don't know.
Okay. All right.
I've
All
been
right.
trying to think. I've been
All
trying to
right.
think. And the thing is, with ideas, right?
Mm.
You don't know. Sometimes they just come to you, don't they?
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
so what
The
are
good
you
ones
doing?
do.
What are you doing?
Well, this is the first year that we're doing YouTube, so we're thinking about doing something for Christmas Eve
Sure.
on YouTube. We're still not quite sure how that's going to shake out, but we're thinking about doing something for Christmas Eve. And then
Yeah.
we don't really have traditions per se because both of our families are so far away. So it's usually just Aaron and I. We love to cook. So we cook usually something Italian. I think this year we're going to do a nice lasagna. When Aaron and
Oh, you
yeah,
just
when Aaron
reminded
and
me.
I,
Oh my God, I forgot. I took some footage when I was in town,
Mhm.
and I took some footage of, because every year I try to make a theme, right?
Sure.
For my gifts for people.
Okay.
And like, I don't want to give it away in case anybody sees it, but so I have a theme. So yeah, it has to do with pasta,
Oh,
and
okay.
uh, so maybe I'll do something with that. But
Nice. Yeah.
so just
Yeah.
check out
So
the.
we
Yeah, but that's the
will.
same with us. All our family is in Canada. So we
Hmm.
just have the three of us since I've
Hmm. Yeah.
separated now. And then we sometimes have like everybody over dinner, and like all
Hmm.
our friends, because our friends here are our family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the invite's always there for people. Just our doors open. We're like that kind of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I think
you're
we're
in
going
the
to do some.
neighborhood, we'll always just drop by. Oh, I'm in the neighborhood, you know?
We're going to do that, I think, for Christmas Eve. I think we're just going to do a stream and we're just going to hang out, and whoever wants to show up and join us, just kind of, because again, this is the
Yeah.
first year for YouTube, so I think we're going to try that and maybe start a new tradition. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So
And
we'll
are
see.
you in Florida? I keep meaning to ask.
We are, yes, yep, yeah. We're in
Yeah,
Florida. It's supposed
yeah.
to be
Yeah, we spent a lot
seasonably,
of time
you
in
know,
Florida.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
going to be
so we
nice.
had houses in
70s.
Florida, and it's like, yeah,
Hmm.
a lot of our
Nice.
family Christmases were in Florida just
Oh,
because
okay.
of having, family homes in Newport Richey,
Hmm.
Homosassa Springs, and then
Oh, yeah,
Marco Island. So
yeah.
lots of, um, so and most years I normally would go to South Africa.
Mm.
So for the last few years, I obviously haven't gone.
Hmm.
And, but so I know a lot of people
Interesting.
like to go away as well for Christmas because it makes it easier to,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So I think that's what I'll do is I'll learn how to do some fancy wrapping for the Christmas presents, and
Well,
so I
please
always
make a
buy
video.
like things to put on. Yeah. So last year I made my own bows. This year I
Hmm.
bought different things to layer. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
do like layer things with to make it look fancy and stuff.
Very
Yeah,
cool. Well, please do a
very.
video. Please do a video because I want to see your whatever you come up with.
Well, if
Please
you go
do a
on my
video.
Instagram page, you'll see some of the.
Oh,
Because
are
yeah,
you on
on my
Twitter? Are
I'm
you
not
on
on.
Twitter? You're not on Twitter. Okay, so you're on
And I
YouTube
stopped.
and
I
Instagram.
kind of stopped Instagram because it was like too much for my head to put everything on YouTube and then switch it to.
Okay.
So, but I mean, one year it was so funny. I unrolled the wrapping paper, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden, you know how it just like went flying, and
Yeah.
my dining room table is never cleared off. Okay, like
Hmm.
I'm one of those people. If company's coming, that's when it's going to get cleared. Other than that, it's a
Same.
living house. Yeah,
Yeah, we're the same. We're the same.
yeah. You want something, it's right there in hands. I'm not one of these like go put it in the cupboard that you'll never find it.
Yeah,
So
right.
so I had this. I was wrapping on the floor, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
All the presents, and then I
Right.
wrapped them all, and the wrapping paper just went flying. Like,
Mhm.
and I thought, this is too funny. I have to, like, this is what happens when you become a YouTuber. This is too funny.
Yep.
I have to capture this.
Yep. 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 I agree because it's all content. Everything's content. You gotta get content. Yep. Yep.
Oh my God. I
You
said, this
become
is too funny. It's like, it just
right.
and I've learned you got to buy the paper with the lines on the out. I didn't even know this was a thing. Like,
Mm.
if you look at the back of your Christmas paper, some of it has lines. That
Um,
is prime. Okay, that is. So look at the
yeah.
back of the paper before you. There is cutting lines, so you know where to.
Oh, I see.
Well, my
Ah.
lines are all like this. I mean, you wouldn't believe the way I put them together. It's like I can put a book in a piece of paper this big. It's like,
Oh. Well,
anyway, okay.
again, well, I was going to say, make a video of that because I want to see that for sure.
Okay, we
So
probably
with
do. We
that,
have, I can't even see anymore.
oh, all right.
Um,
I'm gonna let you go. I'm getting tired. I know you must be tired. Thank you
I'm
for
getting tired.
joining us.
And we got to make it for Baker. Make
Yes,
it for
yes.
Broken Baker. He's
Make it for
amazing.
Baker. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right, Karen. Thanks so much. All right, have a great night.
Merry Christmas.
Bye. Bye. Yep. All right, guys. That was really fun. Karen Cole. Let me just put up her wonderful. Let's see. Let me just put her handle up one more time. Let's see. All right. So yeah, Jenny, I know you went to subscribe, so thank you so much. But that's not how. Well, I have it in the description as something else. But anyway, guys, go over and check out Legal Minded Friends, Karen Cole. Thank you so much for being with us. That was fantastic. And I just want to say thank you to Aaron. Thank you to our chat. Thank you to OnlyFan and Julie, therapist Unbalanced Equation, who's also in the UK. I know it's late for you. Hopefully you've ducked out, and you're sleeping by now. Brat, thank you for joining us. Florida PI Sam, Rachel, thank you guys. Thank you, chat. Appreciate you all. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Eastern, I will be on Broken Baker. He was in our chat today, and I'm looking forward to talking to him. He of 27 years old. I think that'll be a running joke with us tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for joining us, guys. Really appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to try and figure out how to walk myself out of here. Let me see. Let's see. All right. Thank you guys for being with us. After Broken Baker, we will be picking up streams, Iowa versus Burns. So join us tomorrow. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.